Hello and welcome to the Clashing of Steel. Today I'm doing a recap of the update 2.1, which is coming at the 3rd of October. So let's start. One of the biggest things that will be implemented are the player levels. It is separate from unit level and is separate from the commander level. It will be as you progress, as you play more matches, you will get levels and you will get rewards. The rewards can be from the common silver to the premium time. And another big change is the player titles. You can get these by playing games or just unlocking commander. There are different titles you can unlock for Romans, Barbarians and Greece, of course. For the Romans there are the titles like Africanus and the Conqueror and so on. For the Barbarians the War Chief, and for the Greece the Great and Queen Slayer. There are also title rewards for unlocking all units and doing a tremendous score of 1500 kills in a single battle. And for another great change is the replay system. In the replay system you can fast forward, you can pause, you can do slow motion, and you have the free camera view. There is also the cloud replay browser. It will allow you to download replays from the cloud. You will have access to your own and to your friends' replays. I guess we can check it out when it comes out. So for another great feature we have the new tooltips. It has now more information on the tooltips. It shows just more than a specific commander name. It shows skills, it shows specialities and difficulty. And there might even be a small description about the unit. So since I'm at the units, all the units have had their coloring looked at, making them more historical, with many units now having unique colors. Also in battle there will be battle decorations. It won't be like the awards we get in the end of battle. We should see them mid-game if we do something like kill an enemy commander, for example, or make a surprising flanking maneuver. There are several of these achievements, for example the routed or demolished. You can check them out in the patch notes, I guess. And another pleasant change to the end of the battle is the victory/defeat screen. It will show the top players from each team and their commanders. After seeing that screen for a few seconds, it will switch over to another screen that shows most kills in each team, most spotting, most captured and most decorations. And now perhaps a bit more into the units. So all tier 6 plus units have had their statistics and abilities considered and tailored, meaning that they have changed and balanced the abilities and the playstyles. They have also added totally new skills for some units and even changed some older skills. There are many changes here, so I'm gonna pick few from each of the factions, starting with Rome. The different infantry types got different pillars. The pillar is the javelin that the infantry unit can throw under the row. There will now be light pillar and heavy pillar, considering that the heavy one will do probably more damage and the light one will just be annoying. Another change for the Roman units are the javelins. They have now either the mobility or missile block ability. And also the Roman cavalry, which got a bit more mixed supporting abilities. So on to the Greece. The Greece spearmen got some support and mobility abilities. These will probably help them be more mobile and agile on the battlefield. For the archers, they have offered more tank, damage or mobility options through equipment choices. And for the Greece cavalry, they have said to alternate between offensive and supportive cavalry units, to give it more diversity. And now for the barbarians. One of the biggest changes here is more fire abilities. This is exactly what it says here. I don't know exactly what that means, but we can guess it's in the lines of Vercingetorix's Scorched Earth ability. So there are a few changes coming to the War Dogs. They will have a new ability and release option, and also their intercept range is reduced from 110 to 80. For the barbarians, they have also introduced some buffs and debuffs on the infantry line, which is pretty useless out of the forest, to be honest, at least right now. Hopefully it will change. And for the Folxes, damage and speed buff abilities were added, and also some mixed support abilities for the cavalry. So the morale for the flanking system was also a bit changed. It was reduced highly on the low tiers, so that new players could just see how the tactics work, how it works out, how is the right way to do them, how is the right way to flank. At higher tiers, the Roman and Greece cavalry's flanking effectiveness was reduced because they were doing too great of a job. Barbarian cavalry didn't get that much of a change because they are somewhat light. Since I'm on the topic of the riders, the charge impact of the Greece cavalry was reduced because it was too strong. It wasn't reduced massively, like 2 to 3% maximum, but it was reduced. So also the grouped cavalry charge. For now, they are removing the charge impact from confident moral state. That means if there are 3 units inside one another, the charge impact won't be as brutal as it is right now. Meaning that if you send in your troops one by one, it will be more effective, but if you send in them all in one big blob, it will not be as effective as it is right now. They want to address this issue more seriously, and they will take a look at it in the near future. So now on to the commander abilities, starting with Alexander the Great. The wage ability's charge impact was reduced from 10 to 5%. This was the only change for the Alexander. Next is the Vercingetorix. His Defiant skill upgrade talent has been changed. The one that gave the armor piercing damage, it has now been turned into a multiplier. The talent now scales from previous +6 melee armor piercing damage to the total of 40% melee armor piercing damage over 5 levels. So this was it for the Vercingetorix. Next is the Arminius. The momentum ability gets now a 10% charge bonus on the base ability, and also the new talent for the momentum that adds total of 10% charge bonus over 5 levels. Next we have the Scipio Africanus. Wrath of Mars charge bonus has been reduced on talents from 50% to the total of 30%. Oath of Preservance reduced the base defense from original 80% to 50% and reduced the total talent defense from 70% to the 50% as well. So if it's maxed, it can be the maximum of 100%. Next we have the Caesar, Veni. The melee defense and melee attack was reduced from 30% to 20% and reduced the total defense given by this talent from 40 to 30. This was all about the commanders, and now a few other changes. While in game, pressing F1 will now open you a help sheet. It will come in the middle of your screen and it will show what buttons do what and how you can use what. There is also a long list of bug fixes that I'm not going to go over. If you want to see it, I suggest checking out the patch notes. I'll probably leave it in the description as well. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.